just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What just happened?
What the f*** happened?
What just happened? I'm Dan. That's Julia. And today we're talking Servant Season 4, Episode 8, called Tunnels. Only 2 left after this one. Before we get into it, Jules, I want to thank everyone who joined the live stream. That was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, yes, it was so much fun. I had a great time.
Jules and I did some math in our head. It's not too friendly. The hour of day wasn't too friendly for our England viewers, our overseas viewers. So next time we'll try to do something earlier for them so that everybody can join in. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
we got a lot of information this episode. A lot of information.
I'm real excited.
And we see a whole bunch of the end game, of where it's going. There was a huge moment in this episode. It's called Tunnels for good reason. It opens up with basically like all this news coverage of it's going down, basically. Like they have this massive storm.
As you know, Walker, we have a Category 2 storm nearing the greater Philadelphia area, part of an increasingly bizarre pattern of seasonal weather.
And apparently that's coinciding with a lunar eclipse. I thought that was interesting. But
yeah, wild, right?
Yeah. And then at the same time, you have all these rats getting loose throughout the city. So there's just like massive chaos going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And of course, later we find out, Leanne thinks it's all for her. It might be.
So we're getting like more of this storm of the century hitting Philadelphia area coverage, like anywhere you look. So they really want to build this up. And it plays out in the plot because now the Lannisters are forced to leave the park. They can't stay there. It's not safe.
If the storm doesn't want you here, then you should go. Can't leave you here all alone. It's not safe. You trust me? Oh my Lord.
The main leader, she's kind of against it, but Leanne's like, just go. Everything's going to be fine. She's got this all figured out. So she feels like they're not necessary anymore, but then that's going to piss people off because I know people were pissed that they didn't really develop the Lannisters at all, and now they're just kind of gone. That could piss some people off, but like I said...
Yeah, I kind of hope that's not the last we see of them.
Me too, but not everything can be tied up with a neat bow. There's going to be some things that are just... True. Some things are just going to be... That's it.
Yeah, it's like a pick your battles kind of thing.
Right. It's like, would you rather get an answer with Roscoe or the Lannisters? Like, yeah, Roscoe. So
Roscoe, hands down.
Hopefully we get that. The Lannisters are going to take off. We got this huge storm coming up, and you can't forget the lunar eclipse and the rats going crazy. So like all this craziness is going on. And just 2 weeks ago, or maybe even last week, they mentioned it about the evacuation that was pretty much going to be like a mandatory thing. So now you have this storm. There's not going to be many people around, is my point. So there's going to be a lot of time and opportunity for the CLS to make their final push, because this is their final push. Then Sean and Julian are just open talking about the plan. They need to get Leanne downstairs to Uncle George so he can go through with his plan. And they kind of just put all their faith in him. We get her to him, we walk away from the situation. And that's all we can do. So that's their goal. They want to do that. And Sean wants Julian to do it. Julian wants Sean to do it. And obviously Julian's the right choice to do it. But the way he goes through with it later on, it doesn't really matter who would have did it, because they were just like, screw it, let's go.
Yeah.
Dorothy, I felt this episode was kind of like a metaphor to her character, because a couple times she heard a noise, went to go check on it, but she couldn't really do much other than like check out the noise. And that happened twice. Later on with Jericho
it's like
crying.
Because she's like helpless. Like she can't move around on her own, really. Although I will say the amount she's recovered is insane. Like I did not expect to see her walking by the end of this season, but good for her, man.
Yeah, and I actually did like what we got out of this first time. So she goes to check out the noise. It turns out to be that the window in Jericho's room is open. She's just sitting in there, like meditating. She's just like sitting there in a trance. Yeah. And they kind of have this talk where Dorothy says,
you and I were both tenacious. Never give up. That's not always a good thing.
But Leanne's just on the fence of, hey, why is it so impossible for you to like me? Like, that's all
that's all she cares about.
All I ever try and do is make you happy. It's not your job to make me happy. It never was. Why is it so impossible for you to like me?
It's almost as if like if Dorothy had just been like, "Oh yeah, I like you," that she'd be like, "Oh cool, we could just like stop all of this," you know? Like
Right.
she's very
Yeah.
dead set on just like that end goal of getting Dorothy to be like, "You're like family to me," you know?
Yeah. In a way, it seemed like Dorothy actually made some leeway here because she was like, maybe we can keep talking about this. And it was like
Yeah.
a civil conversation as far
Yeah.
as being
Yeah.
civil can possibly be for these two. I mean, the gripe this episode was really between Sean, Julian, and Leanne. It wasn't
Mm.
really between Leanne
Yeah, but I
and
think that was to
Dorothy.
get them out of the way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, story-wise, I think that was just to get them out of the way. But also, I
True.
thought it was funny that like Sean and Julian and Dorothy flip-flopped a little bit. Like Dorothy's approach to this was a lot more calm and level-headed than normal. And Sean
Yeah.
and Julian were just like, yeah, just toss her in the basement. Just send her in
Yeah.
the tunnel, we'll be fine. It reminded me
Yeah.
of like when Dorothy like locked her in the attic, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And when it's Leanne, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. There always has to be a
Oh,
backup
not at
plan.
all.
Always has
Yeah.
to be a backup plan because they
You'd
didn't
think
know
they'd
what
know
to
that
do.
by now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So Leanne has this moment where she opens up the sky roof and goes outside and lightning strikes. Is that all you got? Like she's like very convinced that this storm is for her, and she even says that to Julian.
The storm, all of it is for me. And he thinks that he can beat me, but he can't. Because I've won.
Julian's just he's kind of just had it. He's not gonna he's not gonna be nice about getting her to the basement. So he kind of just goes, "Sean, come on!" And they kind of ambush her and they pick her up. They
Well, because
drop
she
her.
flat out was like, "No, I'm not going with you." No.
Yeah.
He was like,
And-
"Shit, I didn't expect her to say no." Like,
yeah. And now what? And they kind of drop her on her head. It basically knocks her out for a second. It gets them a second to tie her hands and put her in the wheelchair and get her downstairs without a fight. So she gets taken down, and it's Uncle George and other CLS members waiting. He tells them to go, and that's it. Sean and Julian they think they did what they need to do. They think they did their part in this.
We did it. It's over. She's gone.
And that's it. But that's their mistake. You have to have a backup plan. This is Leanne. You have to assume she's going to get out of this. You can't.
I can't believe they thought it was going to be that easy.
I know. Seriously.
Especially with Uncle George. Like, you can't trust him. You have to know you can't trust him.
Right. And they had victory drinks and everything. And
yeah, what is too soon to celebrate?
And this is the second time that Dorothy is, heard something and is now crawling towards it. This is Jericho crying this time. Could have sworn it was going to be the doll by the time she got there. I was wrong about that. But that would have been sick if it
That would have been really cool.
Right then. That would have been cool. I'm waiting for that to happen.
Who knows? Maybe next episode.
Maybe. I think we could get that. But like she's going to Jericho. They have this whole scene playing out with Uncle George and Leanne. And
we don't need you to be uncomfortable. I only need you to listen.
He says, we can't contain you. We both know what you are. Just say it. Just say what she is.
I know, but here's my thing too. Like when he made that comment, he's like, we know that these like flimsy pieces of rope aren't going to hold you. So like, why did she not do something about that sooner? Like you saw her like struggling to get out, like she couldn't gotten out of the ropes and like run or something.
That's the way he made it seem. And he really tried to pitch her the idea that this is best for everyone. If you just unalive yourself, you do the whole thing yourself. No one can kill you. He says a bunch of things,
He was real close to convincing her too.
He was, yeah. But she's stuck with
anything bad that happens in the world is because of him, not me.
You misunderstand him.
Overarching him character we keep getting. So I'm sure we'll find out who that is. I'm sure Hookman will get some type of answer soon. I just want to know. And even George says, his perfect order is too great for us to comprehend. We can only serve it. You should not exist. The ones you love, you have trapped them in a living hell, world out of balance, endless suffering. And he keeps on trying.
Oh, he said, and your wickedness.
And best of all, God will forgive you all your sins and your wickedness.
Who said I'm wicked? And just ends it.
Yep. And then just goes for it. So like
I audibly I was like
I know. So
like as much as I know Uncle George is a snake, I do love his character.
Me too.
I was a little
R.I.P.
sad. I was half expecting him to wake up again before the end of the episode.
I know. Well, he got taken out. They did the ritual. They burned his body. Uncle George is gone.
It's all yours.
Ugh, now what? Now who takes command in trying to bring her down? But like that couldn't have been his only plan, just to get her to do it herself.
Yeah, just to like offer her the option.
Can't be.
What?
Yeah, like come on, there has to be something bigger than that. So I don't know. That seemed like a Hail Mary type of thing. It ultimately gets Uncle George killed, and she kind of does the ritual and looks up and says, "He's all yours."
I wonder
Uncle
if
George,
this is how we get Aunt May back in the picture.
I hope so. I hope so.
Because like if Uncle George is gone, she's gonna be coming in as reinforcements, you know?
Yeah, there's no reason why she can't come back now, especially now, because we're gonna need someone to take charge. So now the aftermath of this scene when she killed Uncle George was just amazing. You know, she goes back upstairs.
Incredible.
And someone brought up Carrie. I saw the blood on her. Her
Yes.
acting
Unraveled.
unraveled.
Absolutely. 100%.
Immediately what I thought. And, you know, stuff just going crazy. The window breaks. Sean gets stabbed with the knife that he picked up for protection. And even Julian was like, don't, it's just going to make everything worse.
Yeah.
He was right.
Put it down. You'll just make it worse.
So, you know, he ends up stabbed. Julian gets tossed downstairs and then he falls into the hole. The wine falls on top of him. He's fine. He's not dead, but he's hurt. So she calls the ambulance and they're both taken out.
Before we move on, I have to ask. I this has to be intentional because Sean, who's a chef, gets stabbed by a knife.
Yeah.
Julian, who's an alcoholic, gets crushed by a whole shelf full of wine.
Wow, good connection there. I did not even think of that. Yeah.
And I'm
that's
like,
a really good connection.
That's nice. That was a nice touch there. So I'm wondering if that will like play into anything else, but I just thought that was something cool to point out.
It was kind of funny how quickly Julian was like, sorry. And she's just,
Which we did call.
We kind of said that, yeah. Yeah, we said that would be his immediate reaction to her pulling a fast one. And that's what happens. And, you know, Sean's just kind of laying there hopeless. You know, I thought maybe he would get killed in this scene, but like you mentioned earlier, this is a way to get those two are out of the house now. So what's going to happen with just Dorothy there, just Leanne?
It's just you and me now.
The final showdown's coming. What have we only got? We got 3 left or 2? 2.
2. This
2
is
left.
8.
Man, so the next episode should really be the one that sets the groundwork up for everything, because we even had one of the final lines spoken in this episode. Yeah, one of the final lines spoken is just an accident. You know how accidents happen, alluding to Dorothy's fall last season. So it's like it's all out there now, and everyone has chosen sides. Uncle George is gone. There's going to be someone else that comes in. Maybe that ultimate him character makes an appearance. I hope we see more of Uncle George. I hope Toby comes back, but there's only 2 to go. So where can it go from here? I don't know.
I hope Frank's the hook man.
Oh, that would be crazy.
I think someone mentioned that at some point, but I really hope that's how it ends.
I would be
I
very
just think that would be wild
satisfied
for
with
Dorothy to be like, what?
Yeah. That'd be a very satisfying ending, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
Man. Okay. I mean, let's lay it all out there. What do you guys think? Did you like this episode? Did you get enough out of it for it being, you know, the second to last before the, you know what I'm trying to say? There's only 2 more left after this. So like, was it enough for you? It was enough for me. I thought they did a really good job in playing out and fleshing out this story. And just, you know, Leanne's just ultimate evil now. She can't be on the good side.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's not necessarily true.
That's true. Yeah. She still could be if she's just very radical about this, and her, you know,
it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a trope like that before.
Yeah. I mean, her approach is nasty, but maybe she has to be like this, you know? And she was quick to go through with that ritual with Uncle George. It's like stab,
oh my God, yeah.
Like,
let's get this over with. Come on.
Yeah. She was quick with it, man. She like knew exactly what she was doing. So It's just very funny. They've been trying to do this ritual on Leanne for so long, and she gets one chance and she does it on Uncle George. It's like, you can't reason with her. You're gonna have to take her down.
Yeah, they should have just done it. Like if they had just not, if they'd skipped the talking and just went for it, I think they could have got her.
That's like the only option they have left. I don't know how.
Right? Like
you can't sneak attack her anymore. She has a lot of power right now. So the only way they're gonna get this done is if they just go for it. So they're gonna launch a final assault. They won't give up that easily. Obviously, Uncle George is a huge loss for the characters of the show and for the situation in the show, where they could really use his leadership in this situation. But I don't know. We'll see. How's it all gonna play out? Only 2 episodes left.
My other thing is, this can't be the end of Sean and Julian, right? Like they'll be back.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, they'll be back.
Okay.
Hopefully
I just needed some reassurance on that.
Yeah, hopefully soon. I don't know how long they're going to be in recovery, or I don't know what they're going to do with that. Maybe they'll just leave the hospital because of the bad weather. I don't know. Maybe that'll come back into play.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that storm's not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, how's it all going to play out? What do you guys think? What was something that was revealed this episode that gave you a clue for maybe you have an idea or a theory now? Yeah, go nuts. Only 2 episodes left. It's getting sad, Jules.
I know.
It's sad. It's almost it. But let us know. Drop your theories below. We'll be back next week to talk about everything, and we'll keep you updated on live video or theory video, whatever we're doing next. So just subscribe and you'll find out all that news there. All right. You guys take it easy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Fuck you.